Hey all, it's my 1000th video on the James channel, so at long last we're going to do an inventory of t-shirts. This is just t-shirts, it's not, I guess I could do a separate one for sports teams and all that, but this is just t-shirts. So we're going to start with Stones, this whole stack. Everybody always asks, how come your t-shirts are never wrinkled? They're wrinkled all the time, I just don't wear the wrinkled ones. This is a Canadian one, obviously, from '03. No, I didn't go to that show. I've only seen the Stones once, and that was in '89. So that's one, Stones. Another one that looks a little bit like it, but is actually different, because that one's just sort of the tour overall. Another Canadian one that looks like it, except this one's the misprint where they put the tongue backwards. So it's that same one from the first one, except misprint. This is another one. That's actually the better picture is on the back, the Nova Scotia. That's the cool picture, but that's the one in front. That's the Super Bowl in '06. Has it really been 12 years? That's another one from another German show. Didn't go to that one. I think this is that's Bridges to Babylon tour. I think I got a couple more of these. I thought I had a green one. I think there's a yellow one. I don't know. That's just a circa 1978 Stones. Almost looks like a Sex Pistols shirt. This is Stones and Duke, two of my passions. That's the show at Wallace Wade in '05. This one is from Syracuse Carrier Dome in '89. I bought this one at the show from a guy who was roaming around the inside the stadium selling bootleg shirts. That's a fake one. Well, I mean, it's a real one, but not an official one. It's a bootleg one. House of Guitars. I think I got a bunch of House of Guitars all in a row. Rochester, New York. I don't know why this House of Guitars one was in with the Stones ones, but this is House of Guitars. Sorry, this is Stones '06 Bigger Bang tour in Spain. Another, I don't know, kind of like that one. It's got the little tongue on it. I think this is Bridges to Babylon tour. Not sure. '75 tour. That is just a couple of years ago, I think. 2015, Quebec. That's 2005 California Angels Anaheim Stadium. That one is, I think, Toronto '05 Blue Jays blue. That's another baseball one. That is Boston Fenway. That one has to be, it's green, it's probably Boston. Yeah, Boston for that 50th tour they did a few years ago. That one is Brazil, soccer ball. That's '75 tour, got all the dates on it. That's not any tour, I don't think it's any tour in particular, just an embroidered Stone shirt. '72, that's another one of those Bridges to Babylon ones. That's, if you've seen the pictures of the Stones in the south of France in the early '70s, that's a shirt that Mick wore, a fake Mick signature on it. But the coolest thing on it is the Exile on Main Street has the name on it. That's a '75 Tour of the Americas shirt. That's one is some kind of promotional tour for Ballpark hot dogs. They must have sponsored part of the tour or something, I don't know. That's, I think, somebody's homemade shirt. I think I got that as a gift. That's yellow, so it must be Pittsburgh. Yeah, that's Pittsburgh Pirates. That one's blue and orange, and it's got the Cavs on it. So that's Charlottesville, UVA. '05, Sweet Virginia for Lovers. Netherlands, that's another one of those ones from Bigger Bang tour. That's the She's So Cold promotional shirt on the front. I'm So Hot for her on the back. That's, I don't even know what that is. What is that? What is that? Quebec. Yeah, that's Quebec. From a few years ago. Another baseball. That's just sort of the tour in general. That's, I don't think it's for any specific show. But it was a tour of baseball stadiums, so they just did a generic baseball one. That's some kind of skateboarding thing from Germany. I have no idea what that is. That must be Voodoo Lounge from the looks of Mick's outfit. The cooler picture is the one on the back. I wish that one was on the front of Keith and Ronnie. Yeah, Voodoo Lounge. That's Charlie back there. This is another one that I got at the show. In fact, I think my wife got this one. It was one of our first dates. We were just started going together. But that's from Syracuse, from the show in '89. That one is a Halloween show from '06, and that's Beacon Theatre. And I just liked it because it had the pumpkin on it. Perth, Australia from just a few years ago. I don't know, thought it was a cool picture. That's Nebworth 76 show. I don't know if that's an official shirt or a bootleg, but that's it. This is Santiago, Chile, just I think last year, 2016. Two ladies licking a popsicle, suggestively. And that's the typical Stones tour image that goes back quite a ways, but this one's from '81, or the image is anyway. Okay, we're beyond Stones now. We're the best children's book ever, Harry the Dirty Dog. Still love that one. Manny's got that at Manny's probably, I don't know, 15 years ago, 10, 15 years ago. If I'd known it was going to go out of business, I would have bought a dozen of them, but that's the only one I got. That's Fulkerson Winery has a wine called Red Zeppelin. That's the Velvet Chains Fetish Club. Never been there, but it's on my list. That's A Life is Good shirt. That has a high sentimental value because my wife gave it to me. That's another one that my wife gave to me that I'll never part with. Nantucket, love that place. If you've never been there, you should. Niagara University, I have a high regard for Niagara. Both my parents went there. That's Zeppelin Nebworth 79. That one. I don't wear this one anymore because I don't want to have to keep washing it and have it be thin, because it's actually still in pretty good shape. It's not too thin. But that's a real one from 76 tour. Even says Winterland Productions on it, 76. Those are getting pretty expensive now, 100, 150 bucks now. Sick, Sick Birds, great. The late, great Sick, Sick Birds from the Baltimore area. That's not the big band, that's the Broma Seltzer Tower in Baltimore. Gilmore Academy, of course, David Gilmour's shirt. Cersei, great band if they ever pass through your town, and they tour all the time. Catch up with them. Another Niagara, I like that one. That's another one, another gift from my wife, so it has a special place. Come on, how could you not love BMW? The Warehouse, New Orleans, that's another one of my favorites because one Saturday my wife and I got the letters. I ordered letters, they came in the mail, and we just made t-shirts. That's, everybody asks who that is whenever I wear it. That's Vivian Howard. She has a cooking show on TV, on public television. And when my wife finally comes to her senses and kicks me out, this is my backup plan, Vivian. Chicago Music Exchange, never bought anything, but I have been there. Marshall Amps. Fomar East, another one that I made. Not worth anything, but high sentimental value. Gruen's Guitars in Nashville. Great place. There's Bowie. It's just a pizza, no story behind that one. Cersei, I kind of like that because it's sort of like, I've seen Beatles shirts that have the same sort of color scheme, so it's kind of a takeoff on that. Elvis Lives, I wish. A Roy Lichtenstein, I don't know, I just liked it. I like the look of it. I like how it goes onto the sleeve. Neat one. That's a Jamie Reed Sex Pistols image from the Pretty Vacant single. I don't know if this is a real guitar shop or one of those phony guitar shop t-shirts, but I just like it. It's the softest t-shirt I've ever felt. Goes to 11, Spinal Tap. Another one that has absolutely no meaning. That's why I like it. I'm a big Gatorade fan. I think I found that at a thrift shop or something. Now we get into some House of Guitars. If you're ever in Rochester, New York, you've got to stop at the House of Guitars. Nice BC Rich. But they always have cool logos on them. They did a contest probably close to 30 years now, early 90s maybe. They did a contest to find the world's worst guitar player. It was all over the TV and everything, and they finally picked a guy who really sucked. But it was a neat little contest they did. Another house of guitars. Another house of guitars. Every time I go, I got to pick up a couple shirts. House of guitars again. This is another. They had their 50th, celebrated 50 years of House of Guitars. So that's another one. Another one with the BC Rich, Mockingbird. Another one. Another House of Guitars. Another House of Guitars. It was sort of like a baseball jersey kind of shirt. We got Frank Zappa for president. Even as a dead guy, I'd probably still vote for him. Magic 92, MJQ, WMJQ in Rochester. They're not Magic 92 anymore, but it was a great station back in the 70s and 80s. That's, of course, the 917. Eastman School of Music. I wear this one sometimes, and people think I went there. If I went there, I'd be a real guitar player. Coke. I'm a Coke man. Martini Racing, Porsche. I'm a big Porsche fan. Sun Records. I wish it said Johnny Cash, Big River on it, because that's my favorite song. Another one that we made in tribute to Ronnie Van Zant. This is Zeppelin Nebworth 79. It's probably worth a few bucks. Highway to Hell 79 tour. That's the Malcolm Glazer famous Bob Dylan image from the Greatest Hits poster. That's another one that has sentimental value because my brother and my niece and nephew gave me that one as a gift. Buffalo. Bruce, of course. Ultraman. Don't know if you've ever heard of it, but when I was a kid in the 70s, that was on in the afternoons after school. Another Porsche. Got that at Watkins Glen. Slurpee, because it is the greatest of man's inventions. Mary's Club. Enough said. That's another 917. McQueen. That's, of course, Pete Townsend. No, Jimmy, of course. Graham Parsons. Always have a soft spot for Graham. That's the Blue Oyster Cult. That's the L&J Hog Company, Rock Creek, Montana. Jimmy, of course. Farrah. Back in the day, you know, every suburban neighborhood had one kid whose parents would allow him to buy that poster, so the kid across the street from me had it. My parents wouldn't let me, of course. But, iconic. Buddy. Got that at the, there was that musical, I think it was called That'll Be the Day. And I'm not really big on musicals or anything, but that one was great. Another Porsche. Sorry. Bill F. Murray. That's from, on days like these, from the Italian Job opening, the Lamborghini Miura. Le Mans 70. Chuck, of course. This is a takeoff on the Last Supper painting with Elvis. A bunch of other 50s-ish artists in there. Richie Valens in there. Dave's Guitar Shop. Got that as a gift. Never been there. That's a volleyball. Mr. Music. Bought a guitar there, but I've never been there. I bought it online. Topsail Island down in North Carolina. Great resort. That one kind of speaks for itself. Capitol Theater. This is real from late 70s. In fact, it's that one is thin, man. That one, I should probably stop wearing it. But that's a real. They make reprints of it, but that one's original. This is another one from. This is from the Who show in '89 at Rich Stadium in Buffalo, and you could see that's really falling apart. It's been washed too many times, but since this was one of the first dates I went on with my wife, that one is a keeper. The actual show and tour stunk, but the shirt's pretty cool. Another Who. Kind of looks like the drawings from the cover of By Numbers, but it's not. Triumph. Whenever I wear this, people always say, Triumph, what a great band. It's not the band, it's the motorcycle. That's from Arrested Development. If you are a fan of the show, you'll know what that is. That's special CBS. That's Jukebox the Ghost. I don't know if you ever heard of them, but a great, great band. Look them up on YouTube. They're awesome. That's an image from a short film called Rendezvous. If you've never seen it, it's on YouTube, and you need to watch it because it's awesome. But that's from that. That's an actual old Cheap Trick from the late 70s. It's super thick, like they used to make t-shirts back then. So that's a real vintage one. And of course, Speaker City. That's the, now show the pile. That's the pile. That's the shirts. And they're all going to be washed and hopefully not wrinkled by the time you see them again. So 1,000 videos. Here's to 1,000 more later. Bye.